Ratings. Who was your man of the match?
I wanted to say Schuurs.
Until that moment.
Until that moment that he fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Martinez.
Hi guys, welcome to GameTalk. Ajax just played in a very important game against AZ. We were playing away. Difficult game. We already knew this going into the game, but also now that we lost the game, I'm going to discuss it with Maxwell. Maxwell, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Not the result we wanted.
No.
What's going on with Ajax?
Don't know, man. But only thing I can say, I'm very disappointed. Such a great year. A lot of good talks from a lot of people about Ajax, about how well they were doing, and this last month you throw it all away.
Not even a month. 2 weeks ago, nothing was going wrong.
Yeah, okay.
It started with Willem II, right?
No, actually, it started before that. Again, the game against Twente, for example, we were able to recover. Yes. So the downfall was it started sooner, if you ask me. But then in that phase of the season, everybody was they were fit enough to change the game.
Can we because this is something that we have been hearing, and actually we can see this as well developing. There are a lot of players really looking tired. Also players injured. Today, we played against AZ. I was looking at the starting 11. We had 7 players playing at different positions compared to the Valencia game. This is a very, very, even for Ajax, this is very tough to swallow. I mean, if you go up against AZ, who's playing one of the best seasons.
True.
So, but can I go back? Is it still an excuse? I mean, to lose the game?
No, of course not. It's never an excuse to lose. But okay, it was a top match for the Dutch league. It was the number 1 against the number 2. So the outcome could have gone either way. Even if you looked at the game, if you ask me, a draw was a better example of how the game should have ended, because Ajax didn't also in the way and the style they were playing, they didn't deserve the win. But if you ask me, the only logical explanation at this point is Ajax isn't fit enough. They don't look fit. Some of the guys, for example, as was told in the beginning of the match, Tagliafico, Ziyech, the guys who always stand out of the crowd, they weren't at their top level as we are used to.
But still, until the last moment goal that we conceded from the corner kick, we were actually praising the defensive line. Even Alvarez, who was really working from a defensive point of view. They were really stopping all the threats from AZ.
But all the defensive players, they played a decent game. Alvarez, I wasn't fond of him in the first half, but second half he showed he can be a useful player. He can be a good player, and also in the attack, he showed his man.
So Ten Hag was kind of forced to play with different players. He used Marine, for instance, who we haven't been seen playing a lot, especially the last couple of weeks. How do you think he played?
Dramatic. He was the most dramatic player on the field on the Ajax side.
Can we criticize him at the moment, because he hasn't been playing a lot?
If you're honest, then it's hard to criticize on him, because he didn't play in a lot of matches, not recently. But you're on the Ajax team, you're on the Ajax squad, then we can expect a little bit more, even though you're not playing. You stand on the training field with the other guys, and when the coach asks you to come in and perform,
you have to show him.
You have to show him that the coach is seeing it all wrong,
and you should deserve your spot. Yeah.
Exactly.
How about the players that usually are one of the key players of our team? Van de Beek, Tadic, Ziyech. What do you think they did today?
invisible.
All of them. I thought Ziyech was okay
in phases of the game, but a couple of months ago they were there 90 minutes if when needed. From the first second till the last minute they were there, and now it's just in a couple of phases of the game. Even Ziyech. Again, we don't know how much to blame him in this game because he didn't start it fit. But Tadic was invisible. Huntelaar was invisible. Van de Beek started okay. Had a couple of good passes thrown at him from
How about
Veltman.
that chance that he missed? The one that Alvarez gave to Huntelaar?
That should have been a goal, but can you blame him for missing that one? Maybe he could have just do not think and just shoot. Okay, no, I think he did a good job by finding his rest and find the right corner to pass the goalkeeper, but it didn't go to the right side of the post.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question now. We know the result, 1-0. AZ is now tied with us. But I want to go and look at the period we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. We have only this week, we have 2 more games to go. One in the Dutch Cup and one next week against ADO, which is the final game before we go onto the winter break. It looks like Ajax needs that break at the moment because, as we said,
very much
injuries, players looking tired.
Mm-hmm.
But coming back, first of all, the first beginning of the season, I remember that Blind was playing in the midfield position and we had problems finding the right balance on the midfield. Then it seems like Ten Hag found the balance. Midfield was no longer an option. Things were clicking. Things were going better. Now it seems, and there is an excuse for that, but I want to ask you, is this something that we can we accept this excuse? That's what I want to ask you. And the excuse is, we have Neres who's injured. We have Promes who is injured. We have even Labiat who's injured. So we're looking now at maybe second, third strings, like backups. And Noah Lang is one of them. Mm-hmm. Noah Lang did not play today, which was a surprise. But we haven't scored a goal in 3 consecutive games now. Can you say, yes, it's logic? Or can you say, no, I think Ten Hag is such a good coach. He has to be creative enough to solve this issue.
I think he is creative enough to solve it. Yes, okay. But today he was, as a coach, to me he was a bit as a coward.
Can you explain that?
Well, in that stage where you want to bring something, or where you come to the conclusion you don't create any chances, why do you bring a substitute defender into the game? Why not? And eventually he brought in a striker 30 seconds before the end of the game. What do you expect him to do? But
doesn't this tell you the story about Ten Hag? He was happy with the draw?
No, but this is no, and I don't believe he makes these calls on his own. He has a staff around him, so they also come.
But he's the one that makes the decision.
Of course, but
you cannot tell me. You cannot tell me at 0-0.
No. He first of all he needs to. I think the fitness of all the players is also a development of how he
used the players.
He used the player.
Can you explain that? What do you mean by that? For our viewers, so they understand what you're saying.
Okay, well, because if he if the first season, if he used to substitute a lot of players, you start to relate between your bench players. Then they have in this phase they would have had a lot less minutes in their.
That's a good point. Actually, we have been mentioning this, not only you but a couple of panel members as well. Ten Hag is very fond. Even last year, he was very fond of sticking to the same players.
Yes,
and it was very hard for bench players to come in. Also because the starting 11, maybe the 12th and 13th player were really good. We understand that. But last year, you had also the luck that there were almost no injured players. Your key players were still fit throughout the season. Now we're not seeing that. And what happens, and that's what you're saying, I guess, please correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
You're saying that we started even in July because we had to play the playoff rounds for the Champions League. So we started very early in the season already. Yeah. And I think most of the players already are getting at their almost 30 games.
Yeah.
Between 25, 30 games already. And the season is not even half the season.
Yeah, and you're going to feel it.
And you're going to feel it.
Even if you don't want to, you're going to feel it.
The other side of the coin, and I think you're referring to that, is that the other players, the bench players, the youth players, are not getting so many minutes in. So when the time comes that you need to ask them to play, they don't have the rhythm to play.
Exactly.
Which, can you say is the same what happened with Valencia?
Yeah. Now, what we discussed earlier, that's the same thing that happened against Willem II, against Twente. We saw it against a couple of other games where eventually in the second half we found ourselves again and almost lost it, but eventually won it. But overall, to me, that's the most simple solution. For the next season or for the upcoming season, the rest of the season, I think a transfer, attacking player would have might have been the solution.
You think that in January we have to go seek for an attacking player?
Yes.
But then again, look, I understand.
Or you need to trust in your youth players that you have. And Lang isn't, for example, he isn't the only youth player who deserves a chance in this squad. There are Traoré, who was today, but you can give Univar, Hansen, for example. You can give those guys their minutes.
You're not referring to the AZ games or the Valencia games. You mean the other games that we are already leading, or
when
the score is like that we can use those players and rest others.
Yes.
Okay.
The game is allowing it at that point, and then you can bring your youth players in, so that when you need them and you expect the youth players to stand there, you know what they can bring. And now it's always a surprise because you don't know what they can bring, because you don't give them their chance,
and maybe also confident. They need confidence. They need rhythm,
of course. Yeah. But if a couple of weeks ago, when Lang started, he was
against Twente.
Against Twente, he was open and free, and the game against Valencia, everybody was critical about him. So that's the difference. That's how football goes.
Yeah, but going from Twente to Valencia is
it's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big step.
Yeah, but if you gave him a chance, for example, against Lille, where we had a big score against, bring him in.
Another question that I want to ask you, Huntelaar. Not because there are a couple of panel members, as you know, that are not fond of Huntelaar. That's not why I'm asking you this question. I'm asking you objectively, why do you think? First of all, do you think Huntelaar deserves at this stage of his career to start as a striker? Isn't he more a pinch hitter?
No. I think he's more a pinch hitter than a starting.
But then
player.
Again,
I think he's.
But then again,
I think I understand the choice of the coach to start with him. Mm-hmm. But if you look at today and the other matches of the last couple of weeks. I'm not fond of him either.
Okay.
He didn't deserve to play. Again, I
so
would
in
start
that
with
case,
Traoré or Lang.
Okay, so would you give Traoré already his chance to start a game?
Yeah, of course.
All right, because that's the Ajax way.
Yeah, if you're not playing at 100%, then you need to bring other players in.
Okay. Final thing before we go to the rating. Do you think this will be a defining moment for the season, that we lost this game, or do you think we have enough time to?
No, definitely not. No. I think the winter break is coming at the right time. Actually, it's a little bit too late, but I think Ajax will they will find their strength again and turn it on.
Yeah, I hope we do damage control and just win the upcoming games, and then we'll see in January how it goes. Hopefully, Neres, Promes, everybody will be back.
Yeah, and I wanna lay it out again. I don't think the youth players are the solution to the problem. I just think that if you roulette a little bit more,
you should balance the playing time. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Okay, ratings. Who was your man of the match?
I wanted to say Schuurs.
Until that moment
that he fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm going for Martinez.
Okay. Who was the worst player for you?
Marin.
Marine was the worst player.
doubt.
How much did you rate him?
A 4.
And how about Ten Hag?
Well, actually, I wanted to give him a 2, but you can't convince me in that in the way they played that it was all Ten Hag's idea to perform like this. You also need your players to perform to execute the idea that you have in your head. So I don't think you can blame him for this one. So I gave him a 4.
Okay. One more thing about Ten Hag. Do you think Ten Hag is showing to be more a reactive coach than a proactive coach?
In this stage of the season, yes.
Okay.
Maybe he is forced to act like this because of the fitness of of his players. Mm-hmm. It could be, I don't know.
All right.
But if you bring players in like De Jong, when you have a lot of other players who are show more potential.
Look, the thing is, why I'm asking you this, just to make a point, is like today, just talking about today, because there are more examples. Marine didn't play well.
No.
He tried, he worked hard, he didn't play well. Why does he wait until the 80th minute to make the first substitution? That's what I mean. And you can say we don't have a lot of options, but that's not entirely true.
No. First of all, I if you ask me, he should have substituted a lot earlier in the game. But I can understand from a coach point of view that a substitute not always is going to make a team.
Bring you the effect that you want.
As an individual, it can be a good substitute, but as a team, because you don't know what the substitute is going to bring. For example, Tagliafico came into the game. That means you bring Mazraoui to the midfield in this case. That was his choice. Mm-hmm. But is Mazraoui the solution for the midfield at that point?
Well, he brings more football into the midfield than Marine.
Yeah,
Marine dribbles too much.
Yeah, but I understand the switch from Tagliafico instead of Mazraoui on the left wing side, because he has a better cross pass than Mazraoui, and you force it that a guy like him is going to give that pass. Mm-hmm. But Mazraoui, he also showed in a lot of games before this that he loses his man, the side of his man.
Yeah, all right.
So
So you do understand today why Ten Hag waited a little bit.
No.
Oh, okay.
But in his defense, I can understand why you wait, because maybe you're convinced that Marine the choice for him that he's going to do it later on in the game, or I don't know.
All right.
No.
Okay, so nothing to worry about. We have a couple of games this season still to make everything okay, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
Yes. Guys, thank you for watching. Sorry we had to swallow the loss again. Please subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all the support. And please drop your comments below. Let us know what you think of the game. See you next time.